Hey y'all, welcome back to Illinois Honeycomb Homestead. As you can see by the title, I'm going to be making some homemade rolls. Only thing I'm going to be doing is putting the ingredients in my bread maker and let it do the rest because nobody's going to be wanting to wash all those dishes. Now, I do know how to make some rolls, but I got other things that I got to do. So, I'm going to let the bread maker do it for me. So, if you want to know how to make your own dinner rolls in the bread maker, stay tuned. Okay, y'all, so what I love so much about this bread maker is that if you're in the midst of doing the most, like cooking, or you got to prep some meals up, or you got to do whatever you got to do, this right here will do it all for you. It will do it all for you. All I'm doing right here with this recipe is making my dough, okay? The ingredients for my dough. I'm going to put all the ingredients in this bread maker and I'm going to turn it on and it's going to do the rest. It takes about an hour and a half for it to go through its process. And that's it. Literally, that's it. So I'm going to walk you through it so that way if you want to get you a Kitchenarm, which is what I have, a Kitchenarm 29-in-1 recipe bread maker, you will not, I'm telling you, you will not ever regret that you made that decision. Because I'm telling you, as a homesteader and all y'all homesteaders out there, if we got to do a lot of things with these hands, that right there will be your extra hand. Okay, so I'm going to quit babbling and we're going to go ahead and get to the ingredients. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I use for my rolls. One of them anyway, because I never have the same recipe ever. So this is one of the recipes for my dinner rolls. All right, let's get to it. Okay, y'all, so now we're getting ready to add our ingredients. The first thing you're going to need is a cup of milk. You're going to put that in. It's room temperature. You don't want it too cold. Okay, and then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar. Okay, get my tablespoon. Let's drop it. 2 tablespoons of sugar. Okay. So the next thing you're going to need is 1 egg. Did I drop something? No, I didn't drop it. I thought I did, but I didn't. 1 egg. And the other thing you're going to need is 1/4 cup of butter. I did drop a piece. I bet. There it is. Yeah. Okay, and then 1/4 teaspoon of butter. Now you can use salted butter or unsalted butter, okay? If you use salted butter, then you're going to need less salt than what it's asking for, okay? So I'm going to use salted butter because I like that flavor in my salted butter. So it's going to ask for 1 teaspoon of salt, but I'm going to do a half of that, okay? Since I already have salt in my butter. Okay, so that's a half a teaspoon. Okay, the next thing you're going to need after all of that, you're going to put your flour in. I use bread flour. The reason why I use bread flour, because it makes your rolls really, really fluffy. When I say fluffy, it is fluffy. I use it on my cinnamon rolls. I use it on my pizza dough, whatever. This is the recipe for it, y'all. This bread flour. So I'm going to use 3 cups of bread flour. That's all. 3 cups. Okay. So I'm going to put my bread flour in. That's 1. 2. 3. When you're using your bread maker, you do not want to pack your flour. You do not want to pack it. You don't want to do none of that. You want it as loose as you possibly can have it. You want it loose. Okay? Now, the last ingredient will be the yeast. You're going to make a little hole in the center of your flour. Okay? Right in the middle. And then you're going to take your yeast, or you can get a pack of yeast. However, whatever one, but it's the instant active yeast. That's what I have right here. And you're going to just use a pack, okay, of that. So I'm going to make sure it's down to the bottom before I cut with these scissors. So that way I can make sure I have all the yeast that I need. Also, when you're using a bread maker, it's telling you to do your yeast that way instead of it touching the liquid. I have no idea why it does that, but I'm not going to go against it because this is what it says, okay? And so that's what I'm doing with mine. I do it every time. I don't go against it. If it says put that yeast on top of the flour, then put the yeast on top of the flour by all means, okay? When you're not using your bread maker, you can do it, you know, the other way. Put it in some warm water, let it bubble, you know what I'm saying? Make sure it's room temperature and all that. But when you're using a bread maker, it says put that yeast on top of the dry ingredient, not with the wet. That's why I came in and did all the wet and all that stuff. And now I'm using the yeast, and that's going to go inside that little hole that I buried right there, right in the center of it. Okay? Now, after you do all of that, you're going to close it. You're going to go, and on mine, it says number 17 as far as making the dough. That's all I want it to do is make some dough. That's it. So it's number 17. I'm going to go over here to my menu button, and I'm going to go all the way to number 17, and I'll show you just here in a few seconds what I mean by that. Okay, y'all, so you see it's on number 17. I'll hit my menu button, and it's going to go by the numbers, as you can see. I'm going to go all the way to number 17, which is where I'm at. Number 17. It's going to take 1 hour and 55 minutes. It's going to go through the rest mode, just as if you was doing it manually, okay? But it's going to be doing it for you. You don't have to mess up no dishes, nothing. Just stick those ingredients in, and that's all you got to do. I will show you again when I look this up right here. All the ingredients are inside. And that's the little hole I made as far as a little barrel for the yeast. And everything else is in there. That's it. Okay? Now, you can leave that open till it's time for it to go through that phase when it needs to rise and all that. But I'm going to show you what it looks like with the lid open so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. When we come back over here, now that you got it on number 17, all I have to do now is hit the start button. And that's all it's going to do. It's going to mix all this stuff up. And then I'll come back and show you when it's getting ready to knead it real quick for you. It does it all. You ain't got to do nothing when making this dough. That's one less dish you have to worry about as far as messing up. This right here would be the only thing besides what you're going to put in on a tray for your rolls to put in the oven. That's it. That's it. So I'll come right back when we get to that next phase. So as you can see, it's a kneading 1 stage. You got an hour and 49 seconds to go. is in its kneading stage, as you can see. Don't worry about the residue that's around that ball because it will get it clean. You do not want to stick nothing in it because it will mess up your machine, and that's the last thing you want to do. So don't worry, it will clean that up. It will clean it up. So this is the first stage after all the mix is done that is going to be kneading, okay? And so now it's going to the kneading 2 stage. I'm going to go ahead and close this up so we can look like from right here. And as it's going through that, because the next stage is going to go through a rising stage, and y'all know how that rising stage is. You know what I'm saying? So it'll go through all the stages. All right? And I'll come back when it's time, or the last part of it. I'll show you what it's looking like from this right here, because we're not going to raise that no more because it's getting ready to go through its stage that it needs to go through here in a minute for the rising. Okay? Hey, honeybees. So it's on a rest time, okay? It's on a rest timer. That rest is when you want your dough to, you know, kind of rise a little bit. That's where they calling it kind of resting from that kneading, because you're letting it rest for a little bit. And what's so bad about it? I don't care how much you clean this. When it starts going through its little phase, it's going to have a little kind of heat because it's the friction, or I guess whatever going on, and it's going to fog up this window. But I just wanted to show you that it's going through the resting stage. It's just like as if you were making it with your own hands, okay? But it's doing it for you, okay? And I'll be back. Y'all, so it's on its third rise. We got 1 hour and 22 minutes. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see too well, but it is rising and it's coming on up to that window. So we got 1 hour and 22 minutes in. It's in that third rest. And I'll come back when it's time to get our little balls to form. Okay, honeybees, so we're 11 minutes in. It's on the last rise stage as far as rise 2. And as you can see how this dough is rising. It's right close. It's so close to that window. And so I'm so happy that we are already almost at the ending of it. And so when this gets done on that last rise, y'all, we're going to take her out and start making our little balls for our rolls and see the last of your beautiful rolls. I'm so excited. And it got your house smelling good too. I wish y'all was in here to smell it. All right, y'all. In 10 minutes. Okay, y'all. Time is up. Now that the timer has went off, I'm getting ready to show you what this dough looked like. In the meantime, make sure your surface on your counter is clean. Your hands are always clean because mine are always clean. You don't want no nasty hands. So everything is clean. The other thing I'm going to have is my little dough cutter because I want to try to have some even rolls. But it doesn't matter. It's going to be ate up anyway. But if you're going to do presentation, then try to have your rolls as even as possible. The other thing you're going to need is a good pan, and I have some butter down in the bottom of them, of the pan. Okay, so now I'm getting ready to take my dough out. Hey y'all, so here it is. I took it out of the pan. You see the dough? It's good and firm, and it's got that little air in it. And you already know, if you're doing it manually, you're going to knock that air out, right? Yes. But first thing we're going to do is take it on out. Now you got a paddle on the bottom of this. Sometimes it will stick in there and sometimes it won't. But it did not stick in there. Everything is looking pretty good and everything like that. So see? And this comes right on out because of the little oil that I had inside the recipe. It's just easy to rinse out. Okay? Now we set that over to the side. I had that little powder, not powder, but flour. And so now we're getting ready to just take the dough, kind of form it a little bit. right? I'm going to take my little spatula or my little cutter, and I'm going to cut the dough in half. It's a beautiful dough. It's soft, real soft, fluffy, and airy. Okay? I'm going to just cut pieces off of it, okay? Because it's going to go through another rise as well before we put it in the oven. So we're getting ready to make some good rolls, y'all. Some good rolls. So I'm going to show you. So now I cut me a little piece, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have my hand cuffed like this. And all I'm going to do is just kind of cuff it a little bit. Got a little piece down here, right? And you're going to take that and you're going to kind of pinch the ends. You can also do it like this as well. Okay. Some people even roll it. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to roll it up because it's pinched on the ends. You pinch it like this. As you can see, it's being pinched in on the ends. Just like that. You got a perfect little round bowl. Little ball. See that? Just like that. You'll set them in the tray. Okay? And you'll just keep doing it until you get your whole tray full. Okay? I like doing it like this. It's easier for me. You do what's easy for you. But you want to pinch them bottoms so that way you won't have to worry about it kind of like unraveling from that ball form. Okay? And then kind of roll it in. Just like that. And you got another little ball. Okay? I'm going to put them in, and then I'll come back and show you the finished of that product. Okay, y'all. So as you can see, I got 4, 8, 12, 13 rows. Okay, I was able to do it 13 rows in this tray pan. Okay, y'all. So now that you got the rows in your pan, you're gonna take the towel and you're gonna put that over it. After you set this over here, you're gonna have this over your rolls for about 45 minutes to an hour. It's gonna give it another rise because you got a lot of nice fluff in this. So you're gonna have a good rise on these rolls because you used that bread flour, I'm telling you. So I'm gonna go ahead and let it go through its little stage here. I'm gonna put it in the oven. You're gonna set your oven for 350, and then you're gonna let your rolls bake for 15 minutes, and then your bread will be done. Your rolls will be done, and I will be back with the finished product. Okay, honeybees, I just got them out of the oven. They smell really good and fresh. And what I did was I took me a 2 tablespoons of maybe some butter and a little bit of honey. And all I'm going to do is just go over my buns like so. And getting that nice little buttery honey flavor. It's going to be delish, as you know. These are really pretty. They smell real good. I wish y'all was in here because it got the whole house smelling. And y'all already know Elle is in his mind trying to get to these biscuits because he is ready to devour them up. And not only him, but me too. Okay. These are so pretty. So pretty. So pretty. Bring this up so that way you can see how it looks, y'all. And you know what? It's not over until you get that taste test. Let's get to it. You already know I'm going to open it up for y'all so y'all can get a good look. But first, look at this. Look at this. It looks so pretty. So pretty. I'm going to show you the inside. Get that knife. Woo, it's hot. Woo, woo, woo. But as you can see, because it was so hot. But it's so soft. Let me show you. It's soft. It's so soft. It's hot too. Okay. And look at the crust in the top. I just pulled it all out, bro. Y'all look. Like a little bread bowl. Y'all, I'm gonna pull y'all on up so you can see. That's really good. Let me try this in. Y'all ready to see Elle's expression? Let's get it. So there you have it, y'all. So there you have it. Those are some the best rolls. What you think?
Yes. So what you going?
You see, that's
$8.
because I don't get nothing, y'all. I get just like you said, just that one. I have to hurry up and grab me another one before he get them all, because he will eat them all tonight. So, y'all, thank you for coming to L&L Honeycomb Homestead. Thank you. And hey, y'all, if you got a lot of stuff that you got to be doing, bread maker is the best to have to make up your own little dough. To make your own little biscuits. Just like that. Y'all have yourself a wonderful and blessed day. Bye-bye.